there's only one team that is going to get him now. And that's the New York Jets. Unless the Green Bay Packers all of a sudden flip their thoughts and say, you know what, we're bringing Aaron Rodgers back, which is not going to happen because Jordan Love already came out and said that if Aaron Rodgers is back here, I want to be traded. Aaron Rodgers said in the interview that he knew it was practically over when they drafted Jordan Love a couple of years ago. He wasn't sure when it was going to be over, but he already knew that after they found his replacement, a.k.a. Brett Favre and him, it was only going to be a couple more years where he believed he was going to be a Green Bay Packer. He didn't like how the Green Bay Packers and how they treated some of the veteran players that have been there over the years, the Jordy Nelsons, the Randall Cobbs, the Brett Favres. He mentioned a lot of players that were mistreated because they were veteran players and not washed up, but they weren't the same players when they were in the prime of their careers. He never liked the Green Bay Packers brass since he was drafted. As he mentioned, Mitchell, one of the guys that drafted him and decided, obviously, when Mitchell left, and he mentioned all the coaches, all the people that were involved with the organization when he was drafted, they're all practically gone. They all moved on as GMs, assistant GMs, presidents. He says there are very few still involved with the Green Bay Packers when he was drafted, when they built this team, when he was drafted by the Packers. And I know a lot of Jet fans all over social media were attacking Rodgers because he had a wish list of players. As Adam Schefter, in regard to the reports, it wasn't just Adam Schefter. It was a bunch of analysts that wrote that he had a wish list of players that he wanted to play with. Randall Cobb, OBJ, Marcedes Lewis. He came out and said on that interview, what a bunch of you-know-what. He did not give a list of players that he definitely wants to play with if he goes to the New York Jets. He mentioned players that he loves to play with and that if they're interested in making a move for him, he wouldn't be attacking them or making different thoughts on why they shouldn't bring them in or who they should bring in. What he does know is that he wants to play still. That he had no thoughts of retiring after he went into the darkness. That he wanted to play football. And he knew it wasn't going to be with the Green Bay Packers. And then he obviously knew on Friday that he was going to be a New York Jet. Rodgers said the only player he would ever claim to demand was Davante Adams. He didn't mention his name. But everybody knew in that interview who he was talking about. Rodgers did not confirm whether he will wear the number 12. He said pretty much on the Pat McAfee show, we're not even in that place yet. Let's worry about me getting traded to the Jets, and then we can talk about if I'm going to wear the number 12, if it's going to be brought out of retirement. You sit here, and again, if you're a Jet fan, after he said on Friday he wanted to be a Jet, he knew that he was ready to be traded, and you heard him say that, the sigh of relief, and I know I heard from Eric Martini texting me, Joshua Silverberg, a bunch of Jet fans reached out to me and said, we got him. We got him. I knew we had him 3 weeks ago. It was just a matter of when and how. After Derek Carr, he went to the Saints, I knew that there was only one guy the Jets were gunning for, and that was Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers last year played with a broken thumb. Everybody's going to say, oh, he's taking 2 steps back. He threw 3,600 yards when the last 3-4 years he threw over 4,000. He threw a couple more interceptions than he usually does yearly because he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks the NFL has ever seen. I'm going to tell you why, and I've said this over and over and over again on the show. The lack of talent around him in Green Bay was horrible. Christian Watson finally transformed into the player that everybody thought when he was drafted in the second round by the Green Bay Packers in week 10, week 11. They didn't have top-end players. Their offensive line was beat up. Their defense, which was supposed to be one of the top 5, top 6 defenses in the league, fell apart right in front of our eyes in the beginning of the season. With injuries, obviously. With Alexander getting hurt. With some of the defensive linemen not staying healthy.